Hi friends, welcome to IMIND.Exceltraining. In today's video tutorial, we would study everything about the dynamic spill array feature of Microsoft Excel. So, I have shared with you one file which is called as dynamic spill array and which looks like this. Let us first spend some time in understanding this data. So in this data, I have the names of student in the first column and I have their scores in the 4 tests and the 4 quizzes. And on the top row, I have the total maximum scores which they can get. Now, I have calculated a formula over here for total, and that formula is if I press Fn and if I press F2, you can see the formula. It is sum of all these cells C4 to J4. Same way in the total cell, I'll press F2 and you can see that there is a formula which is sum of all the cells between C7 to J7. Now I want to calculate the percentage grade. First we will see the old technique of making the formula and calculating the grade. So here I will type equal to the neighboring cell divided by the upper cell. Now if I press enter, it will put this formula in this cell and it will bring the cursor to the next cell. Now this is not what I want. I want that it should put the formula in the cell in which I am typing and the cursor should remain over there itself so that I can drag the formula to the lower cells. In order to achieve this, instead of pressing enter, I will press Ctrl enter. So this puts the formula in that cell and the cursor remains in that cell itself. Now I will drag this formula down to the lower cells. But hey, what can you see? You can see that in some of the cells it has got an error, and in some of the cells the person has scored greater than 100, 152 or 115. How is this possible? So let me explain to you. If I come on this cell and if I press F2, you will see that the formula is changed to K8 divided by K5. If I come here and I press F2, it has become K9 divided by K6. That is, the formula has got copied relatively. Now I don't want that. I want this upper value should be fixed. So to achieve that, I will press F2. I'll bring the cursor close to my K4, the last cell, which I want to make it fixed, and then I'll press F4. This will lock the value in the cell K4. Then I will press Ctrl enter and then I'll copy the formula down and it will give me the correct results. Now this was the old way of calculating the percentage grade using a formula and using a combination of relative and absolute cell referencing. Now let me show you how you can do the same with dynamic spill array. So I will delete this. I'll come to the first cell and here I will type equal to, and after that I'll highlight this entire column K7 to K15 divided by upper cell. Now I am not pressing enter but I am pressing Ctrl enter, and you can see that without me having to drag the formula down, the formula has automatically spilled over dynamically to the lower cells. And the formula is correct. So this time I didn't have to bother about locking the cells or checking the formula, etc. Now there are two things which I would like you to note in this dynamic spillover technique. First thing is, in the first cell you can see the formula, but when you click on any of the lower cells you cannot see the formula. You can see it is ghosted, and this is an indication that you have used dynamic spill array. This was the first thing which I wanted you to note. The second thing which I wanted you to note is, whenever there is a dynamic spill array, do not type anything in between the formula. Example, over here if I type something like data, I will instantly get an error, and this is because Excel is trying to tell me that hey, this is a dynamic spill array and there is something in between which is not allowing me to spill over. The moment I delete that, automatically the data gets spilled over. So this was the best technique which I have just shown you, called as the dynamic spill array. Let me show you the same, how you can do the dynamic spill array with reference to the XLOOKUP function. So here I want to find the decimal grade basis the table given over here. So I want to search for this grade in this particular column and find out the corresponding decimal grade from this column. If there is no exact match, then the earlier decimal grade should be displayed over here. Example 66.35. So there is no 66.35. So the next earlier, that is 66, that is 1.2, should come over here. So let me show you how you can do it using the dynamic spillover technique. So I will type equal to XLOOKUP open parenthesis. Now it is asking me the lookup value. In the normal scenario, I would have just clicked over here. But when you are planning to use dynamic spillover array, you will select the entire column, comma. Where do you want to look for that value? So I want to look it over here in this column, comma. Then it is asking me that where is the return array. So this is where it will find the data. Then I give a comma. Then if not found, so I don't want to specify anything over there, so I'll just give a comma, and here I will select exact match or the next smaller. Then I'll close parenthesis and I'll hit enter, and you can see that the formula has got spilled over and it has found the correct decimal grades for all the students. So 66.35, if it is not there, then the next earlier one, 1.2. 49.81. So 49.81 is not there, so the next earlier is 0. 50.96, it is not there, so the next earlier is 0. 65, it is there, so it is 1.1, and so on. So friends, in this video we have studied the dynamic spillover technique which you can use going forward in Excel, and it will make your life more easier. Hope you have learned something new. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and we'll see you again in the next video. Till that time, goodbye.